The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, real life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. Yeah. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, man. Good morning to you. Good morning to you here today on the Money and Power Show, brought to you by the New Black Wall Street. I am your host, ERGJ, your certified financial educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, ERGJ Black Bazaar, and international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. The book that I wrote, guys, is a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today, and I just truly believe that if you want to be wealthy, that's a big if, by the way. But if you do, I recommend that you study wealthy people. The Black Billionaires Club, the book itself can be found at by going to the website www.theblackbillionairesclub.com, www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. You can pick up your copy today. It's available in English and in French for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. It is a book that's in 10 different countries at this point in time. It is a book that I sold over 5,000 copies with no help from Amazon, by the way. Yes, international best-selling author working on Black Billionaires Club version 2. Black Billionaires Club 2020 is coming to what is it coming? It's coming to a mobile phone near you or something. I don't know, because it ain't going to Amazon. I'll do it myself. Okay, I'll do it myself, man. Absolutely. But you can pick up that copy, guys, to help us as we begin to finance our next project. You guys have been asking for part 2. You've been asking for a 2020 version. So I will have that book out by my birthday, which will be in September. So that'll be my birthday present to you. That's right, because I'm a giver on my birthday because God has been so good to me. All right, so you pick up that copy today. Today's episode has been brought to you by ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, where we specialize in Afrocentric home decor, personal care products, and also Black art-inspired gifts. Here you guys will find quite a few things. We have updated our website just to make sure that we take care of our community. And in doing that, we've added the CBD products. We've added some electronics. We've added the personal protection equipment just to make sure that we are here for you. So you can't get those, you know what I'm saying? You sort of had to put it up there first. I had to put the gummies up there first. That's right, your organic vegan gummy bears or gummy fruit slices or gummy worms. Them things right there is the truth. Okay, but you can't get your mask. You can't get your fashion mask. We just landed the deal for your dual valve sports masks. They are coming. You can't order them today, and they'll be out to you as soon as they arrive in our shipment as well. So we're just making sure, because here's the deal. This ain't going away. No time soon. It ain't going away yet, and we opening back up the city. So we might as well, hey, listen, Black folk, please, okay, please protect yourself. Why is it that I'm seeing brothers and sisters at the job working behind the counter and the register with no mask on, no gloves on? What is going on? Do y'all not understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? If we ain't going to protect ourselves, we can't concern ourselves with what nobody else going to do. I mean, my goodness, the job ain't going to provide you with masks. You get your own. Listen, your life is that important. Look, your life is valuable to me. Okay? It may not be valuable to you, but it's valuable to me. I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. Protect yourself. My goodness. Oh, Lord. Man, check us out at www.theblackbazaar.com. www.theblackbazaar.com. Here at ERGJ Black Bazaar, the Afrocentric marketplace, we want you to remember this, that once you shop Black, you never go back. Once you shop Black, you never go back. All right, beautiful people, man, that is our announcement today. We got a wonderful show for you. Everybody that's joined us here already, go ahead and put in the comments below, a better life. A better life. I want you to start thinking about, I want you to start to imagine what that is for you. A better life. Not that your life ain't already great. Not that your life ain't already amazing. I mean, your life is amazing. But I want you to think about or imagine as you move forward in the future, as God might grant you another day of opportunity. A better life. I mean, can you imagine Your life is already supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and it's going to get better? Yeah. It's getting better. It is getting better. Let's find out who's here with us this morning, man. Who the early bird gets the worm. Grand rising to your King Thomas Freeman out of Louisville, Kentucky. That's right. Float like a butterfly. Sting like a bee. Home of Muhammad Ali. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Brother Lodger is here with us. He's in studio. He'll be with us in just a second. Queen Selena's in the house. Good morning to you. Thanks so much for joining. Ron is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the Money and Power Show. Queen Tiffany is in the house. She showed up. That's right. All hail Queen Tiffany is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining us here today on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Man, my brother Raphael Golden, man, you got a name on you, brother. You got a name. You got that Raphael Trevor. You got that singer name, and you got the golden name. You better do that thing, brother. Thanks so much for joining us here today, King Raphael. King Raphael. That reminds me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. King Raphael is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us here today. A Better Life Queen, Tisha Benjamin. That's right, that queen that's doing her thing out there in Mississippi. She out there building her own beauty supply store or a women's boutique with a beauty supply store with some other stuff in it. I mean, she's just going to be the woman Walmart or something. I don't know, in cosmetics, something like that. Anyway, Queen Vivian is in the house. Thanks so much for joining us on the Money and Power Show. Thanks so much for joining us today. That's right, a better life. A better life. Your life is already amazing. Your life is already supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. And it's going to get better. Right, class should be full, but I'm here. Good morning to you. King Sydney is in the house, man. Thanks so much for joining. All you guys for your support. Hit the like button, the share button if you care. The like button, the share button if you care. Not only am I my brother's keeper, not only am I my sister's keeper, but you are too. Why? Because I understand and I attract to myself that which I am. I attract to myself that which I am. That's right here on the Money and Power Show. Hey, we're going to start our morning, guys, by getting into our political piece. And our political piece is brought to us by a Dr. Claude Anderson. Now, Dr. Claude Anderson is one of the great minds of our time. He is an author of many books, one being Powernomics, one being Black Labor, White Wealth. You might have seen him with Boyce Watkins and some of the stuff that they do. They seem to be good friends, although I don't really like Boyce Watkins, but nonetheless. And he's written this book called A Black History Reader. A Black History Reader. And this is 101 questions that you never thought to ask. And this is his political side, things that he wants to say as he leaves his legacy in some of his books. And so today's question that he's going to answer for us, that we're going to read through, is this question: has education been the great equalizer for Black folk? Oh, and I got an educator with me here today, so I can't wait till he say what he got to say about whatever it is, because I don't know what we're about to read. But we're going to read it together and find out what he already putting his head down. Find out what Dr. Claude Anderson has to say about this, as he calls this rethinking. Everybody putting down, so rethinking social integration. Has education been the great equalizer for Black folk? The Money and Power Show, our political piece. Let's read. I set him up. I did not know. Listen, brother. I'm just going in order. I did not know you was going to be on this show when we did this today. I did not know. That's God. That's all God. Education is a class issue bound by race. It has no magical powers to equalize social and economic conditions between Blacks and whites. Generations of Black children were indoctrinated to believe the pathway to success and racial equality was education, just as it appeared to be for white children. Schools have consistently presented a paradox for Blacks. First, if fortunate enough to get an education, a tool, they were limited as to where they could use their tool. There were few places within the Black community to apply their acquired educational tools, and if they ventured outside, whites would determine if they were wanted and the value of their Black labor. This paradox placed Blacks not too far from where they had been in slavery. It was still hard for Blacks to earn enough to support their families. Education, generally considered the mechanism for upward class mobility, has been an issue for Blacks since the founding of this nation. First, it was against the law and public policies to teach a slave to read or write. Any person caught teaching a slave to read or write would suffer 39 lashes with a whip and a fine of $100. Following the Civil War, after nearly 360 years of slavery, and being denied an education, approximately 5 million penniless, landless, jobless, uneducated, unclothed, homeless, and unprotected blacks were set free to wander the countryside. They could neither read nor write. Some public and private schools were set up by sympathetic churches, abolitionists, and individuals to teach blacks manual skills to be subservient. Congress established the Freedmen's Bureau, a government agency to aid the transition of former slaves to a life of freedom. Before it became dysfunctional, the Bureau funded what are known today as historically black colleges. Oh, if y'all just learned something, you know what you're supposed to do. Put in the comments below pineapples. The Freedmen's Bureau, before it became dysfunctional, funded what is now known today as historically black colleges. My question then is, who's funding them today? No wonder why some of our black colleges are going out of business. Because they ain't got no Freedmen's Bureau no more. I'm just saying, I don't know that. Let me keep going. These schools started as elementary type schools, grew and progressed to high schools, teachers, colleges, and finally full colleges and universities. Although 96% of blacks in America were suffering from planned ignorance after the Civil War, they believed in the possibilities of an education. They believed that their acquired education, reading, writing, deciphering, they could overcome imposed ignorance and become a self-sufficient and competitive group. Blacks diligently pursued education in the new school. Parents went all out to make their children attend whatever school was available, whether public, private, or religious missionary school. During the 30-year time period between 1866 and 1896, former slaves set an educational achievement record that has yet to be broken by any racial or ethnic group. When slavery ended in 1865, approximately 98% of black Americans were illiterate. By 1896, blacks had reduced their illiteracy rate by more than half, from 98% to 45%. They educated themselves faster They educated themselves. They educated themselves faster than 26 million Europeans who entered the country during the same 30-year time period when nearly the same illiteracy rate as ex-slaves. Never in recorded history has an enslaved race or ethnic group reduced their illiteracy rate by 50% within a 30-year time period. But education was not an equalizer. While blacks were achieving educationally, the expected benefits were not accruing to them. The 26 million immigrants were being installed over them as a management and ownership class with a lower educational achievement rate than blacks. Newly arriving Europeans outdistanced blacks in employment, business, politics, and income. Unfortunately, higher class status and monetary benefits that typically follow academic achievement did not follow black educational achievement. The European whites became business owners, managers, administrators, and prominent public servants. Blacks with greater educational achievement simply became low-level workers and domestic servants. By 1920, blacks again reduced their literacy rate, this time by 20%, which was equal to that of the Jewish and Asian immigrants entering the country. By the 1950s, the national literacy rate for black Americans was down to 16%. Yet, when the black civil rights movement began in the 1960s, blacks with a college education did not earn as much as white high school dropouts. Black Americans in general earned only 56 cents for every dollar earned by whites. In the 10-year period between 1966 and 1976, the earnings ratio of blacks moved up to 66 cents for every dollar earned by whites. The nation entered the 21st century with black Americans attaining even greater educational achievements. However, their income had reverted to 56 cents for every dollar earned by a white person. David O. Sears, author of Racialized Politics, The Debate About Racism in America, argues that whites' accusation that blacks need more education provides a facade for hiding white racism. It misdirects blacks to search for power in education, to propel them into upward mobility rather than searching for power in economics. Everybody put in the console, power in economics. Now, I want you guys to understand, I know why many people are not going to tune into this particular type of show, because we're going to get some answers. And we're not really looking for answers. We're looking to stay where we are. We're looking to find comfort in whatever position, whatever disposition, whatever discomfort we're in right now, whatever mess we're in, we want to find comfort in. So I understand that it's only going to be those who want to know, those who are really looking for solutions, that are tuned into a show like this, no matter how free we make it. Because how many guys know you cannot pay people, right? People, you can't even give them money to pay attention. Power in economics. Education power is illusionary because socioeconomic benefits did not fully track academic and achievement gains. By the 1950s, a black person with a college degree could not earn the salary of a white high school dropout. Black teachers earned less than half of what white teachers earn. Blacks with 1 or 2 college degrees work part-time as domestic service in white homes or in low-paying jobs in white businesses. In 2017, young black college graduates are often unemployed or underemployed. Many grew up believing the myth that racism was a thing of the past, that all they needed was a good education to succeed in life. The reality that racism still exists is a shock to young people who are trained to be chemists, engineers, writers, physicists, computer programmers, and biologists. Their skin color continues to be a handicap for them in the 21st century. Education can only be a potential for upward mobility. The benefits are bound by race, which entraps blacks. Those who manage to get an education generally move up some, but do not achieve the same degree of socioeconomic mobility as whites. Blacks do not have a competitive alternative economy or any place in which to use their skills and training to better themselves or their own group. Blacks need their own communities where they can own businesses and be employed so they can practice group-based competitive economics in a capitalistic society and use their education to, number one, benefit themselves individually, and number two, to benefit their race. Oh, Lord. Oh, y'all, hope y'all ready, because I got to bring in my brother, Mr. Doctor. The doc is in the house today. Dr. Laundry Wisby is up in the house with us here today, up in here. And I know you got something to say about what Dr. Claude Anson has to say here today on our political beat. But before we do that, go ahead and introduce yourself to the people. Let's get that out the way. Tell the people who you are, what you do, why you do what you do, why we listen to you. We get right into this thing.
Brother. Okay. You need to send some gummy bears to make me feel better after this conversation. Gray Weathers is my name. That's what's on my birth certificate. I am the founder of the Better Life Institute. And my brother, Evan, does not give me warning. And right, so I'm done. I have founded the Better Life Institute because I noticed that those who have the better life, which means it's always getting better, it's always increasing, it's always going forward, it's always progressing, they're always have more power today than they had last week, comes once the money situation is resolved. And too many times we're trying to have what the money foundation has not created, which is why our life sometimes will end up being less than what we want. So I'm here. I'm glad to be here. Tuesdays are my day. I'm always sharing the show because I'm like, listen, brother is doing some great stuff 7 days a week. I only contribute 1. Right. So I'm here.
Man, absolutely, man. Well, thanks so much for being here. Doctor ends in the house, man. Dr. Laundry Wisby, man, as we talk about a better life. All right, man. So let's get right into it because you are an educator.
9 years in the classroom, 2 different school districts, 7 different schools, or 8. I don't remember right now because it is what it is. Yeah, and education doesn't. Man, you know, Dr. Claude, man, he will hit you in your throat. Like, he will hit you. Because even with my education, going to what Dr. Anderson said, it still didn't stop me from being the last one hired and the first one fired. Because we don't control the school system. Whole nother conversation. Yeah, brother. You know I'm loaded. I'm locked and loaded. In 2 minutes while you was, I'm locked and loaded, brother.
So, brother Anderson, man, it's a lot to unpack. We obviously won't get to it all. But he said there's a myth that, you know, and again, I think it's maybe generational, right? You know, that was the thing, coming out of slavery, get educated. And then he said, man, we were breaking records, man, get educated, right? Learn what you can learn, get educated, right? But the focus went so much into education, getting 4 or 5 years, 8 years, getting the degree, learning the skill, right? But not necessarily creating a business, learning how to work for somebody else, learning how to take orders from someone else. He talked about the power of education, or the perceived power of education. We're not discounting education that isn't, like you said, it doesn't have the possibility or the potential. But he talked about the power of economics. Now, this is interesting because we have an educator here with us who has created a Better Life Institute, who understands, even through education, the power is still in economics. Talk to us a little bit about that dynamic.
So the word education is actually a Latin word. And the root word of education means to dig in and draw out. So education is like a well. It is supposed to reach, what grandma would say, would reach down and grab a hold. I'm going real old school today. And grab a hold of purpose, grab a hold of gift, grab a hold of talent, and pull it out for the world to benefit from, which means you get paid. The challenge is we have forgotten and run away from and gone away from the drawing out of what's in you to the collection of what's outside of you. And we've screwed up because the original focus on education was to have what's in you, sweet Jesus, drawn out of you, that God put in you so you can make money. That's education. And I don't mean make money as an, oh, that's it, but what's in you should come out of you to fund your life. That's why you have talents. But because we were denied education, we were on the whole opposite extreme, and we began to be knowledge collectors. And so formal education became, sign my diploma, here's my degree. When education originally, no matter what language you look it up in, means to go in, grab what's valuable, and pull it out. To teach people how to get to what's valuable, to teach people how to get to what is marketable, to teach people how to get to what will benefit everybody. That's what education was for. Not this filling my head, open my head, fill it with empty knowledge. Open my head, fill it with empty knowledge. Which is why you have people, a lot of times, lower class folks, who get education, but they're stuck because they don't have the other things that come with it. Well, I wrote down it's the wrong premise about education. We're building our hope on the acquisition of knowledge. They're building their hope on the education. And so because we're going after the same result for different reasons. That's what we talked about a couple weeks ago about learning to know versus learning to learn. Back to you, brother.
Man, it's a couple things that's coming out of this, man, because it's something else that he said as well, because you just said formal education, but then you also have self-education. The interesting thing is that coming out of slavery, right, not having anything, penniless, homeless, not, you know, we had to build our way up. Let's honor our history.
Yes.
Right? But he said they taught themselves. They weren't waiting on professor. They wasn't waiting on saying doctor such and such. They wasn't waiting on the call to go to law school. They wasn't waiting on none of that stuff. Everybody putting guys on stop waiting. They weren't waiting on none of that stuff. They taught them. Can you imagine? I just want people to imagine what that's like, to have nothing, to be penniless, to be homeless, to be unclothed, to be just your shackles just coming off, and you get into the land. You free, but don't know nothing.
Don't know nothing.
And you have to build yourself up, not only as an individual, you got to build yourself as a race of people to survive. And I think the problem is, Brother Elijah, we ain't been put in a position where we have to survive. We in a position where we get by, but we ain't gotten into a position where we have to survive. And so therefore we don't want it bad enough to thrive. Let me say that again for the people in the back. We're in a position where we just getting by. When we get into a position where we have to survive, that's when we fight back. And then that's when we get to a place where we want to thrive. Outside of your comfort zone, one way or the other. See, getting by is in your comfort zone. Surviving is outside of your comfort zone. Oh, you coming after my kids? You coming after such and such, such and such? Oh, no, it ain't going down like that. But then once you get past the place of just surviving, you say, damn, just getting by. We want to survive. I mean, we want to thrive. And you know, it's
killing us.
You begin to teach yourself that which you don't know in whatever area that you want to excel at. Let me catch up on these comments, man, because I want you to talk to us a little bit about, again, we talked about this before, but a little bit about the power of self-education. All right, the power of self-education. Because you and I, we can learn whatever the hell it is we want to learn. Just too many of us don't really want to learn much. We want to watch TV. Life, man. Good morning to you, Queen Yolanda's in the house. Thanks so much for joining. Absolutely. Rethink. Absolutely. Rethink. Pineapples, man. Y'all got some pineapple going on, man. Thanks so much, man. Talk, brother. Power in economics. There's power in economics. Queen LaShawn, thanks so much for joining. Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Power in economics. And the twist is today, blacks are still believing the same way. Yes, we are. We still got to learn some things. Absolutely, man. Thanks so much. Stop waiting. Educate yourself. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. 8 million, stop waiting. That's right, man. Go ahead and check. Go ahead and tag some people. Absolutely. Queen Elizabeth in the house. Thanks so much for joining. Don't just get by. Survival forces you to the path to thrive, man. Don't just survive, thrive. Brother Elijah, man, talk to us a little bit about the power of self-education. We've learned this. We've kind of, and I'm not gonna say we're mastering it, but this is where we at. We say, man, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna learn what we want to learn. Period.
And if you look the successful, it's always the people who have knowledge plus education. But like I said, we're so focused on the knowledge without the education. Man, I know people, I look down because I don't want anybody who's watching to go after the people that ran across my mind. I didn't want them to have the chance to see what I was thinking. It's like, I think the show was Girlfriends, where Lynn was the professional student. The Bible says always learning, but never growing, always learning, but never becoming. Right. Same idea. You know, we cannot get caught up in just filling our head with information. We can't get caught in having some letters behind our name if it's not going to produce. And we've got to get back to the old mindset where I'm producing for more than just me. The other thing that's killing us beyond the fact that we've not been on the survive to thrive path is that we've not been forced to really, in a degree, to think with the communal mindset, which is what we had when Dr. Anderson was talking about how our literacy rates kept dropping in record number. That's because the community mind, the mindset was not me, my two, that's foe, no more. It was not that. It was, hey, let me hurry get my foe together so I can go get 40 of my folks, 40 of the people who look like me. And that's where we messed up. So we've got to get back to that power that comes from when you take responsibility. But the only reason why self-education works is when we take responsibility instead of saying, but they didn't teach me. I'm going to get in trouble with this one. Formal education will never teach you, never give you, never draw out of you what you don't desire to find yourself. It will never do for you what you refuse to do for yourself. We're supposed to jump in the education arena and take those tools and better kill the steak, and take those tools and learn how to kill the cow where we got the steak from, to then learn how to raise the cow, sell the cow, and create a legacy for the steak that we enjoy. And that's how we're supposed to enjoy our steak. Power, brother, power.
And there's another piece that came to mind. I actually had a conversation with someone, I think last night or this morning. And it was you ever have a conversation with someone that you like, why am I talking to you about this? It was one of those conversations. I kind of realized I was talking to a box of rocks. But anyway, But it was an idea, and I was like, wait a second. The Bible says, man, in all that wisdom, get understanding. And I was thinking about this concept of how you said being filled with knowledge. You got all the knowledge, but no understanding of that which you know. No understanding. And so people find themselves stuck because they know, and although they know, they don't. Although they know better, they don't do better because they don't really understand what they know. They know what they know, but understanding what we know actually moves us to actually do better. And that's why I keep saying that that's a myth. That's just because you know better than me. You don't know. It means you have the opportunity to do better because now you know. But when you understand the dynamics, man, what happens when I do better? What are some of the pros to doing better? What do I receive when I do better? Now, when I begin to understand all those dynamics, now it presses upon me to actually do better with what I know. And I was just like, wow, this light came on. I said, oh, that's why a lot of people are stuck. They're stuck or constipated with knowledge because they've been getting the knowledge or searching for the knowledge, which is good. Get that. But they haven't been looking and asking for understanding what I know,
right?
Understanding what I've been taught, understanding what I hear. Well, obviously, in order to understand, you got to listen versus just hear. But you get my drift. So as you may, because you're a pastor's son and all that stuff.
All of it.
Scripture, man. In all thy getting, get understanding. Everybody put in console, get understanding. Talk to us a little bit about what you understand about what that is really saying.
In all of your getting, you're going to get a lot. You're going to experience a lot. You're going to see a lot. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to mess up. You're going to be positioned to take advantage of opportunities that you miss. And all of the getting, get the understanding. Too many times we're passing the test without the lesson that proves we passed. It's like when you move to a new house or a new apartment, you have a new location, and you subconsciously go back to the old. Well, you self-correct. And understanding allows you to self-correct so you don't repeat it again. And the principal fruit that proves that we haven't really gotten it is we aren't self-correcting. If you understanding it, to get the understanding is more than just the what. Because the scripture says, in all of your getting, the what. Why did this happen? How did this happen? How to prevent this from happening again? Well, but you don't get that. And truth be told, my old pastor said something to me that has messed me up and still stays with me. If you look at understanding, it is what's under your standing. If you have understanding, you know why that standing is valuable. You know why that standing is profitable. You know why that standing should be avoided. But because we don't have the understanding, we keep going around the thing.
And you know what I say, brother, doctor, and I say this, and you tell me if you agree with this. I say that one of the main reasons we don't have the understanding is because we're not asking the right questions. If we ask the right questions, we'll get the right answers. But also, if we ask the wrong questions, we'll also get very same answers, which would be the wrong answers. So many times it doesn't seem like we're going deeper in our questioning, right, and our asking to receive, because we will receive. And I tell you, man, if you don't want to know the truth, don't ask me, because I'm gonna tell you the truth. It's like that, right? But you will receive. So, but when we begin to change the questions that we ask, we begin to get different answers. And I find that to be so very valuable. Look at this comment. Miss Green LaShawn. It's called AKSM, Awareness, Knowledge, Skill, Mastery. I guess that's something y'all learned in the education field. Adult Learning Theory. They're stuck in knowledge and never get to skill.
Mm-hmm.
They're stuck in knowledge and never get the skill, man. It works if you work it, right? Absolutely, man. Get an understanding, right? Get an understanding, absolutely. Now, Brother Larry, we're going to skip out a little bit because I know we keep talking about this, but there was something we talked about this morning. Right, and we got two things to talk about this morning. Number one, we got to talk about appreciating the little, right, as you acquire the much. Appreciate the little as you acquire the much. So, Brother Lodge, I see. I mean, a little bit different, right? And I'm looking at your last week when you were here. We had light problems. We had stuff falling off the dang on thing, and in the day it's all clear and bright, and you got something black behind you. And you said to me this morning, man, I'm appreciating this black screen. Talk to us a little bit about appreciating the little as you acquire the much.
Man, that is one of my favorite scriptures where he says, be faithful over the few so you can get, and then I'll make you ruler of the many. So what we were laughing earlier because my dry erase board failed last week. It is what it is. Okay, hey, it is what it is. But it was getting on my nerves that I kept having. I mean, like,
get on your nerves.
I was trying I'm re-recording my content videos. I'm re-recording webinars. I mean, you name it, because I got this damn light behind me. And one of them Shakespeare plays, it said, "What light through yonder window break?" Man, the sun was breaking my window. I was like, I can't function like this. I can't. And I remember, I think LaShawn put the AKSM up. I remember hearing somebody said something about blackout curtains because the problem is it was too much light in. Well, because I'm aware of the problem and I've heard about this, let me go get some information about these blackout curtains. I didn't know how they worked. And what happened is I was like, oh, I can use that. So I went from awareness to knowledge, and then the skills, I put them up. I mean, this wasn't rocket science. I put them up. Now, I put them up a little creatively because this ain't my house. And so because I have mastery of a bunch of skills, I have mastery of some knowledge as a renter, it does me no good to hang my curtains here. Why? This ain't my house. So I become creative according to my skill level. I have mastery of the information. Same thing I did. And I'm appreciating the fact that I can talk freely. Nobody's talking about where you at. I'm not I'm not trying to find the right angle and all this crazy stuff. But that little difference makes me more effective and efficient in business. That little bitty difference makes my time in this office more productive. That little bitty difference can cause my income to triple, quadruple, or quintuple. That's why I appreciate the little bitty difference. Because if the little fox can destroy the vine, then a little bit of preparation can prevent the problem. Appreciate the little.
Man, absolutely. And as we talk about appreciating a little, everybody put in the comments one thing that you are appreciating, some shift. And I'm not talking, some shift that you've made, some minor adjustments, some course correction that you have made, you've acquired, you bought, something like that. And it's been small. But it's made a big difference. It's been small, but it's made a big difference. And I'll tell you mine. So I just invested in these little things, right? These are I know it looks like a little dental floss, but it's not. It's my iPods, my AirPod things, right? So for those that don't know me, I'm kind of old school. So I finally got these AirPods, and I now sell them, by the way, either www.theblackbazaar.com. But anyway, so me, I'm always busy. I'm always moving around. I'm always doing stuff. And so I put people on text only because I'm always like marketing from my phone. I'm doing a lot of stuff from my phone, and it's just not conducive for me to be on the phone and holding it. It just bothered me. And so I got it. I said, well, shoot, everybody talking about AirPods or whatever, I got these things. And lo and behold, this was the one that was different from all the others. So I said, well, these going to be mine. So I charged these things up. I had somebody help me because I didn't know what the hell to do. I was like, I charged the things up. And I was like, well, how do I connect it to my phone? I got it connected to my phone. I put the dang on things in my ear. And I made my first call. And then I was like, okay, what do I do now? I made my first call. And then they were like, well, you can put the phone down. What? I can put the phone? I always got my phone. So I put the phone down. They said, well, you can walk out the room and keep talking. Keep going and try. What? I can leave my phone where it is. Man, I made about 15 calls now. So I've upgraded. right? From text only to hands free. Now I can actually have a conversation with you guys, and I won't be as uptight because I don't really like talking on the phone because I'm holding my phone. And now it may be a little bit clearer because I'm not sitting there trying to fight the wind and all that stuff. So I've upgraded. Now I'm still not doing FaceTime. Y'all ain't gonna catch me on FaceTime yet until I can figure out how to do that hands free. But I've upgraded myself with the AirPods, and I'm appreciating the little. And this little difference is going to calm my anxiety. It's going to allow me to have, a better conversations with my prospective clients and customers. I ain't going to be cussing people out as much. So that's my little. What's something that you have done? Those are in the audience. Some minor adjustment, some add on into your life. And it's little in the grand scheme of things. But what a difference a little can make. What is a difference a little can make? And we're just simply asking you to identify these little things that you are doing. And really, it's not really little. It's really big. But we call it little because we know greater things. We know a better life. We know more is available to you. Identify and appreciate the small stuff. Right? Celebrate your victories.
Yeah.
These AirPods, and obviously, as I said, Brother Andre, now I'm actually wearing my product and I'm going to sell more AirPods. And just because I've even explained that here on the show, somebody going to buy some AirPods too. It's added to my income.
Man. I tell people Lauryn Hill was a great prophetess of the Lord. She said, now I don't know if these were her words, but she said, and I quote, "It could all be simple, but y'all would rather make it hard."
And it was all so simple, baby. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So y'all know what we're going to do here, man. Again, we just wanted to appreciate a little. We got to get a little bit of this richest man in Babylon. That's right. The richest man in Babylon. As I said, guys, we're going to continue to go through this thing till we get it, man. One of the second most requested book that I tell people to read. Obviously, the Bible is the first one, but most people ain't going to read that. So I give them something that's simple, right? To easy to read, which would be The Richest Man in Babylon. Now, here's the deal, guys. This book helped me go from a financial zero to a hero. This book, one of the best investments I've ever made in life, only cost $10. Not $100. Not $1,000. Not borrowing $125,000 in student loan debt. The book that helped me go from a financial zero to a financial hero only cost me $10. Because it's not just that I read the book. I did what it told me to do. I did what it told me to do.
And the book didn't force itself in your library.
It did not. We can recommend this book all day long, Brother Logic, but only about 5% of people go get it. Only about 5%. And these are 5% who own and control more than 50% of the wealth in this country.
5%, Charlie. 5%.
Right? Let's pick up where we left off at here, and then we'll get Brother Logic to share with us some thoughts that he has here today, if I can remember. I don't remember where we're at. This wasn't it. Nope, we're a little bit further. Oh, let me go back. We was on page 22. Oh, we was on page. I'm way behind. We're on page 22 somewhere.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so Arcad was actually speaking to his mentor. His mentor was a money mentor that he had come across. He was learning from. He was learning from the teacher. He was learning from the master. He was learning from the wise man with money. And many of us need to simply find that wise person that has that in money so we can learn from them too. And if you can't, well, you can learn from the same person that Arcad learned from because you have a book that you can read. Either way, find you a teacher as it relates to money. Everybody put also find a teacher. Find you a teacher as it relates to money.
Wait, can I throw something there real quick on that?
Yeah.
Not only find a teacher you can learn from. I had somebody post on my coaching page talking about. He said I would rather listen to Dave Ramsey or Chris Hogan. I said, wait a minute. So you would rather, in your current situation, listen to somebody who's not where you are, who can't relate to where you are, who can't find you and lead you out of oblivion, but you want to listen to Dave Ramsey? Like Dave Ramsey? Who's not dealing with what you're dealing with, but you want to go listen to Dave Ramsey. Right. So not just find a teacher, but find one you can learn from, because every teacher is not equal. That's a whole nother conversation.
Every teacher is not equal. So we'll catch up where we were at, where the master was leaving with Arcad, saying to him, hey, you've taught yourself, again, we're getting back to the teach myself. Everybody in the council, teach myself. You've taught yourself how to acquire money, how to keep it, and how to use it. Therefore, you're confident for the responsible position. I'm becoming an old man. My sons think only of spending and give no thought to earning. My interests are great and I fear too much for me to look after. If you'll go to Nippur and look after my lands there, I shall make you my partner and you shall share my estate. Because of what he taught himself, he now was in a position, he was now competent to be in a responsible position, and he was getting promoted. He was getting promoted to partner. He was getting promoted to inheritor.
Right.
Right. And so I went to Nippur and took charge of his holdings, which were large. And because I was full of ambition and because I had mastered the 3 laws of successful handling of wealth, there's only 3. The 3 laws: acquire money, learn how to keep the money, and learn how to use the money. Learn how to acquire it, learn how to keep it, and learn how to use it. Dear Black folk, I propose to you that we've only learned 1 law.
Make
how
it.
To get it. We've learned how to get it.
Now, I'm mad you brought that out of the book, because y'all see I got colors in my book. Like I wrote this book more than once. But it's funny because I tell people financial mastery from one of my wealth mentors. He said, the problem is not making the money. The problem is keeping the money and protecting the money. And just yesterday, I talked about insurance, because that's how you protect your money. Some kind of insurance. You better do something. Anyway, another conversation. But I'm tripping because he's like, you got the 3. Man, we still want to only get the money. What's the point of going to get $1 million every year if you can't keep 200,000 of the million? What's the point? Yeah, right.
Absolutely, man. So you mastered the 3 laws of successful handling. I was able to increase greatly the value of his property. So I prospered much. And when the spirit of Alchemist departed for the sphere of darkness, I did share in his estate as he arranged under the law. So spake Arcad. And when he had finished his tale, one of his friends said, you were indeed fortunate that Alchemist made you an heir. Oh, now I was lucky. I was lucky. Oh, okay. All right. You missed all the other stuff I just said. Now all you got is the end of the story. You missed all the stuff that led up to me becoming it. You forgot about how I was I got a headache and I was about to pass out doing the work. You forgot that part. And now I'm fortunate. Okay. All right. Now, how many guys know that's how people come around you when they see that you're doing well? They forget about all the stuff. They were right there with you. Like some of y'all, let's be honest. Some of y'all gonna see some of us propel in the BBC. Y'all gonna see us on an island somewhere, and y'all gonna be like, "Oh, y'all were fortunate." We're gonna be like, "Wait a second, wait a second. You were there when we got started, right?" Fortunate only in that I had the desire to prosper before I ever met him. Fortunate in that I had a desire to prosper before I first met him. For 4 years did I not prove my definite of purpose by keeping 1/10 of all I earned. Would you call a fisherman lucky who for years so studied the habits of fish that the ever-changing wind that he could cast his nets about them? Opportunity is a haughty goddess who wastes no time with those who are unprepared. Brother Ladre, Dr. Ladre Weathersby, the richest man in Babylon, they called him fortunate. And he just chumped them off. He fortunate That was his way. See, I ain't quite got that tact just yet, brother Elijah. I probably would have just went off. But he just went off in his own little polite, nice way.
Man, this book is 100 years old, and the principles it teaches are timeless. The next paragraph, he says, willpower is the unflinching purpose to carry a task you set for yourself. So everything about wealth is not giving that responsibility to somebody else. No, if you want to build any level of wealth, you have got to do the work. You have got to become the person. You have got to be committed. You can't work this thing for 2 days and be like, I'm done. What? Right. Yeah. Not fortunate. I like how you said, I'm not fortunate. I just had a desire before you show up. And too many folk are running around like the mergers and they're trying to get what they need when it's time. No. It's got to be there long before. So again, it goes back to our conversation about education. When our cat came along, all he did was go in and draw out based upon what was in him already. That's it. Yeah.
And I find it absolutely phenomenal, man. Again, because this is the same thing, the same premise that happens today. When you start to get to some level of success, people think you're lucky, they think you're overnight success, they think you're fortunate. I mean, luck has something to do. I mean, luck is where preparation meets opportunity, right? So there is some luck involved in meeting Alchemist. But I would surmise that the reason why he met Alchemist because he had already set in his heart that this is what he wanted to do. And God set him up.
Yep.
Oh, this what you want? Okay, well, I'm going to send this brother into your space and we'll see if you notice him. See something, you get set up when you know what you want and you got a desire to get there because desire is the starting point of all achievement.
Yes.
Desire is the starting point for all achievement. And that works in any final form. See, I like to say that because here's the deal. When I desired the sex, oh boy, I achieved the sex. When I desired the alcohol, oh Lord, I was able to find me some good hen dog. I achieved the hen dog, boy. I achieved the gin and juice. I achieved it all. When I desired the marijuana, the Mary Jane, oh Lord, I achieved me. Oh boy, I was rolling. I was waking and baking. I achieved it because that's what I desire.
Mm-hmm.
When I began to desire to get rich, when I desired to get out of debt, when I desired to build wealth for myself, my family, my children, guess what? God set me up.
Wait. You mean to tell me that success didn't happen because God did everything for you? He gave it to you on a silver platter? No! You got to work for it. And the work only comes after the desire. And that's the reason why I brought up that example of the kid with their hand on the stove, because the kid is so infatuated with seeing this thing that's glowing, and they are going to get it. We just lose our childlike ambition. We just lose our childlike desire to know stuff, to learn stuff, not just know stuff,
To learn. We'll get to this willpower because you just talked about that. So not only did he have desire, he had a desire to prosper, a desire to prosper, a desire to prosper, a desire to get rich, a desire to build wealth, a desire to prosper. How many guys are saying you're watching this show right now? You're watching the Money and Power show. And maybe the reason why you're watching it because you do have a desire to prosper. If that's so, go ahead and put that in the comments below. I want you to confirm your desire right now. I desire to prosper. I desire to prosper. Now, what are you doing when you type that thing out? You are declaring to the world where you're going. And you're basically telling anything that's got to do with you not prospering to get the hell out of the way. Because you're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You had strong willpower to keep it on after you lost your first year's saving. You are unusual in that way. Oh, I'm unusual now. First, I went from fortunate. Now my friends are calling me unusual because they say I had some certain Superman. Willpower, retorted Arcad. What nonsense. Do you think willpower gives a man the strength to lift a burden the camel cannot carry or to draw a load the oxen cannot budge? Willpower is but the unflinching purpose to carry out a task you set for yourself to fulfillment. If I set for myself a task, be it ever so trifling, I shall see it through. How else shall I have confidence in myself to do important things? If I won't do the little stuff, surely I'm not going to be convinced that I can do the big stuff. Should I say to myself, 100 days as I walk across the bridge into the city, I will pick from the road a pebble and cast it into the stream? I would do it. If on the seventh day I pass by without remembering, I would not say to myself, tomorrow I shall cast 2 pebbles in which I should do as well. Instead, I would retrace my steps and cast a pebble. Nor on the 20th day would I say to myself, Arcad, this is useless. What does it avail you to cast a pebble every day? Throw in a handful and be done with it. No, I would not say that nor do it. When I set a task for myself, I complete it. Therefore, I am careful not to start difficult and impractical tasks because I love leisure. I'm careful not to set for myself difficult and impractical tasks because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And he also said, not only that, I am consistent until I complete. I'm consistent until I complete. So yes, I'm on the air 7 a.m. in the morning every day. Why? Because I set a task for myself to do. And by golly, I'm going to do it. Am I tired sometimes? Yes. Right? Do I get up a little late sometimes? Yes. Do I still do it? Hell yeah.
Especially when you start seeing them results. And watch this. And that's the reason why Arquette was like, and I'm not going to give myself this stupid, irrelevant, unproductive stuff. I'm not getting caught up with the stupid stuff. That's the pathway to prosperity. Because you still got to deal with everything that happens in life, but you can't deal with you can't deal with the problem that's going to consume your time. No, deal with the solution. Oh, I love it. I love it.
Here's some things, man, to take away from today, guys. Right? Desire. You got to have desire to do it. Everybody don't want to be rich. Everybody don't want to get out of debt. That's it. Everybody don't want that. It's not about what everybody else wants. What do you want? Right? And he also said, man, be consistent. But not only did he say be consistent, he said be careful. Be careful what you commit to. Because you could be committed to some foolishness that waste your time. You could be committing yourself to some foolish people that waste your time. But it's your decision. So be careful with your commitments.
Yes.
Be careful with your commitments. Ask yourself this. When I make this decision, for whatever it is, does it bring me closer to my goal or does it take me further away? Is it bringing closer to prosperity or closer to poverty?
Right.
Be careful with your commitments. Here today on the Money and Power Show, Brother Ladre Weatherfree, doctor, is in the house, man. What's your last words for the peeps before we close this out?
Man, my prayer is that every time you tune in, anytime Evan's talking, that you learn to let what is said be the education. Let it go in. Let it find your talent. Let it find your gift. Let it find your purpose. Let it find the strategy that God has put in you and given you so that when it comes back out, it puts you in the position where you can prosper from what was in you. Please, 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 for the love of God, the love of your family, the love of your legacy, don't fall into the trap where you just simply filling your head with empty knowledge. Just simply filling your head with stuff that in the grand scheme of things won't push you forward towards what you desire. Make sure that you take just a few minutes every day. And I would suggest you even set a reminder on your phone just to check yourself and start building the habit, because habits can also build desire. That's a whole nother conversation.
Habits can build desire. Absolutely. I love that, man. We're gonna end this thing out, guys. I want to give this. We have a what is this called? A saying that I didn't even cover, but we'll end it on this. At some point, there's no excuse. Either you want to do everything it takes to make it happen, or you don't. At some point, there is no excuse, black folk.
Mm-hmm.
Either you want to do everything it takes to make your dreams come true, everything it takes to make sure that your family is secure, everything it takes to make it happen, or you don't. This is the Money and Power Show presented to you by the New Black Wall Street. And I want you guys to remember this, that it takes a village. It starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, beautiful people. Matter of fact, we all we need. And thank God, that's more than enough. It's time to get up, to get out, and go get something. Mr. DJ, hit the music.
The new Black Wall Street. Thanks you for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We'll see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street.